Here we're being asked to differentiate, which just means find the derivative of this given equation, and then they always throw that language in with respect to x, and that's just telling us what variable we care about. So we're just worried about x's here, which is usually all we all are worried about. So we're looking at f of x equals the natural log of 3x squared minus 8x plus 5. Remember that this is inside the natural log function. Whenever you need to take the derivative of a natural log, this is what I refer to as a special case derivative. So there's a handful of derivatives that you just have to have memorized. There's no other way of getting to that final answer unless you just know the derivative. So for this one, the special case, the derivative of the natural log of x is equal to 1 over x. Like all of the special cases that we run into, all the special cases have this same little rule that goes with them, that if that changes, that basic x inside there, if that is anything more than just an x, we are looking at a chain rule problem. So as soon as that becomes anything more than just your basic x, negative x, 3x, anything more than just a basic x, you're going to have to run a chain rule on it. So, the majority of these special cases that you run into are probably going to be chain rule problems because very rarely do they just give you a basic little special case to have memorized. Looking at our example, we definitely have something more than just a basic x going on inside our natural log. So that x has been replaced. So that means we need to run a chain rule. And my chain rule recipe that I use goes d in times d out. The derivative of whatever is inside that function times the derivative of the outside piece. So looking at our specific situation, 3x squared minus 8x plus 5 is inside the natural log. So that is our in piece. So we look at that piece on its own and say, okay, how do I take just the derivative of that one chunk? So the derivative of the inside, looking at that, that's just a bunch of stuff being added and subtracted. And so really what we're looking at is a power rule to find that derivative. Most everything flows through the power rule. So my power rule just says bring the power down and then subtract 1 from the power. So following that rule here, I bring this 2 down. 2 times 3 gets me 6x. Subtracting 1 from the power, 2 minus 1 gets me x to the first. We got that unwritten 1 on that x right there. We bring that down. 1 times negative 8 gets us negative 8. Subtracting 1 from the power gets us x to the 0. And as we've talked about before, anything to the 0 power, even x, always equals 1. So we're really looking at negative 8 times 1, which is just negative 8. And then we take the derivative of 5. The derivative of a constant is always 0. So we're done with our d in. And now we focus in on the outside piece. So the outside piece here, that is our natural log. That is going to be what follows this special case. So this is the natural log of, and then you really just leave all that junk alone on the inside that you already took the derivative of. It's just going to kind of come along for the ride here. So finding the derivative of the outside, the rule says we get 1 over whatever was on the inside. So this is going to end up being 1 over, and then what was on the inside, which is our 3x squared minus 8x plus 5. At this point, you have what I call all the ingredients you need to follow your chain rule recipe over here. So we just follow that rule, and that gives us our derivative. So our f prime of x, our derivative, is going to equal d in, the derivative of the inside piece, which is 6x minus 8, times the derivative of the outside, the d out piece, which is going to be our 1 over 3x squared minus 8x plus 5. And that's it. That's your derivative. Unless somebody asks you specifically to simplify it further, you're done. That's fine. You've shown them you know the derivative. The only time I keep doing work is if they ask me for a second derivative or I have to go on in some other way. But if they're just asking you for the derivative, that's your answer. Get up, walk away. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.